Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Sekiro Shadows Die Twice complete walkthrough, and this is episode 6, which I have named Going to the Temple. And first thing we are gonna do is talk to this big boy down here. He is very sad and he is sobbing his eyes out because he lost the pure white flower. And if you may remember, in a previous episode, Anayama the peddler said he wanted a helper. And that's the guy that's the guy for the job. Because we are gonna help him out. We are not gonna collect the pure white flower that he lost. Instead, we are gonna give him a red and white flower. If you pick up the white flower instead, you will negate that side quest, because he will ask you to send him away to, I think it's the divine realm even. So instead of getting that, we will get, as I said, the red and white flower. And as you can see, this is quite a long episode. It's just over 30 minutes. And that is because we have a busy day ahead of us. We are gonna take down 3 different mini-bosses. And before I get too ahead of myself, these monks that live here by Senpu Temple are great if you want to farm spirit emblems. If you buff yourself with a Mibu balloon of spirit, they do drop spirit emblems quite often, but if you buff yourself with a Mibu balloon of spirit, they will drop even more often, and then you can farm quite a few of them quite quickly. And here things go completely pear-shaped, because there is a big boy hiding here behind this altar. When you're going for him, equip or consume a gachin sugar that will make those guys not notice you until you have killed him. And another problem with this room, you saw I locked onto the wrong enemy, because this house, little temple, is jam-packed with these giant crickets. And they are here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to fuck with you when you're trying to go for this place, if you want to take out the enemies. Because these crickets will not hurt you, they are just there for your aim lock to lock onto them and make things a lot more harder than they need to be. I am not a big fan of this design choice. But usually, of course, on my practice run, I went through this place quite easily. If you sneak up behind these 3 guys while they're sitting there praying, if you have taken a gachin sugar, of course, and you do a whirlwind slash, you can soften up all 3 of them and take them down really quickly. But of course, this was a recording, and in my experience, anything that can go wrong goes wrong during a recording. But that is good, actually, because then I can show you how to solve the situation when it doesn't go as planned. And in previous videos, I have talked about the ceramic shards, that I think they're a useless item, and this is the reason why. This is the only time I have tried to use them. And it doesn't go too well, now does it? The big boy starts coming my way, and I was thinking that maybe I could do a stealth death blow on him when he got close enough, but of course I couldn't. And if I just kept calm there for a second, he was in the process of turning around, so then I could have death blowed him from behind. But either way, we run around him and go in here, be quick, and pick up a gourd seed. And that little mummy monk that's sitting there, he is actually not dead. He is an immortal thing, we can call them that. And they will start attacking you, and you cannot kill them yet. We need the mortal blade to take them out. And I think that even when you have the mortal blade, it's not worth it. But they are really slow and they can't move very far. I think they can't actually move out of their position, so just ignore them. And here we are just gonna run straight through, because you see that guy in the straw hat with the spear? Those guys are really dangerous, and they can, like the purple ninjas, can be really hard to take down. So when you see them, just run past them. And if you can't run past them, try to stealth kill them. That is the easiest way to take them on, because they can be such trolls if you try to take them on head or one-on-one, head-to-head, whatever you call it. But here, before we go to the right, we are gonna head to the left, and we are gonna pick up a key item. Because in true From Software style, there is a vendor here around the corner. And we are gonna buy a key item called the persimmon from him. Or I'm actually gonna buy both of them. And it's really important to know, do not use these persimmons. We are gonna use one of them in a very specific moment later on, so keep them in your inventory. You may be big on fruit, but do not consume them. Or at least consume only one of them, because we need the other one. That is for one of the endings of this game. But now that we have them, instead we can head up to the right and continue on our quest. And we are gonna have a little rendezvous with some gremlins. And if you take it nice and slow, you'll be able to stealth kill all of them. So here you can go up or down, and we are gonna go down. This is very important. And we jump up here, crouch and wait. Because he's gonna fall down. So you can just sneak up behind him, do a stealth kill, grapple over to this place, stealth kill his little friend, crouch once again because they are quite aware of their surroundings, grapple over the chasm, take out gremlin number 3, and up on this walkway there is a 4th one. So we're just gonna grapple up to this tree, jump, grab on, and shimmy across here. And when we get close, down he goes. And we are starting to get close to our first mini-boss in this area, which is the Armored Warrior. And this fight is a straight up posture fight. You will not be able to even take a slice out of his health bar. He is a pure posture kill, because he has a heavy armor on, so you will not be able to hurt him. And here we're also gonna pick up the pinwheel. And there are 2 attacks he can do that you need to watch out for. And also it can be good to use the loaded umbrella. And up there on the cliff is the loaded pinwheel, but the 2 attacks he has you need to watch out for. I will show you right now. The first is the temper tantrum. When he starts screaming, he will bang his sword down 3 times. You can try to block that attack or just move out of the way. And he also has a perilous thrust, and we all know how to face off against that. Just punish it with a Mikiri counter. And there is also a twist to this fight. Since he is a complete posture kill, we cannot kill him by taking down his health bar, so we're gonna have to send his ass packing off this bridge. And as you can see, I face tanked one of his thrusts. He took half my life bar. What you can do is try to get in behind him and try to hit his back, because he's not super quick. But I prefer to try to just block his attacks. Try to parry them perfectly, because that will build up his posture quicker. And this fight can go on for ages, because when you get to the death blow, you will try to push him. If he doesn't fall off the edge, he will regain his posture and the fight goes on. And the first time I faced off against him, I thought like, yeah, I got to a death blow, I'm just gonna take his ass down, and he fell He fell down, but he didn't fall off. Big old Wizard of Oz wannabe. And you see, I'm taking quite a passive approach here. I'm trying to just time, deflect everything he has. His posture does build up quite slowly, but it also goes down extremely slow. And he manages to kill me once, so I was like, okay, fat boy, that's the way you wanna play? So I shift gears and start becoming a bit more aggressive, because I was starting to get annoyed with this guy. And time to play nice is over. You can see his attacks, they are slow, but he hits hard. And when you see his posture starting to go up high, that's when you want to start luring him towards the edges. But be careful so you yourself don't accidentally jump out of one of these holes, because that can actually happen. And the reason I equipped the umbrella is you can use the umbrella to deflect his attacks as well. I know some people prefer to do it that way because it allows for a larger parry window, but I prefer to use my sword. But now that posture is getting really nice and high, so I'm gonna try to keep him close here. And he's going into his tantrum, so I decided to block it, do the death blow, and he just goes over the edge. And you can see him screaming Robert right there. He is actually the father of the boy who invented the firecrackers. Because he took his son to the temple because his son is sick and he wanted the monks here to heal him. And your reward for taking down the armored warrior is not only that we get a prayer bead, which is very welcome. You also get a latent skill called Breath of Nature Shadow. And that allows for whenever you do a death blow, you will regain a little bit of health. And there is also, I think there's one or two, no, there's one, I think, latent skill that is the same that you can buy as well, which will allow you to regain even more health. And I think also you get another one from one of the other mini bosses in this game, or if it's one of the main bosses, can't remember. But I think you can get a total of 3 free of those skills, which will come in very useful in this game. It will allow you to be a lot more aggressive whenever you come to combat. And in this giant pagoda, we have mini boss number 2, which is the long-armed centipede Sen-Un, which kind of reminds me of Voldo from the Soul Calibur series, and when you see him you're gonna know exactly what I mean. He is a bigger version of these fellas, which look like they are really into BDSM. See him right down there? And this is business as usual. Before we take him on, we're gonna take out all of these little minions. And if you jump towards them, you will always be able to do a death blow. I think that is because they are crawling on all fours, so they have their back exposed. So even if they are in an aggroed state, you will still be able to perform a death blow. And I felt that things were starting to get a little bit heated in there. And that is what's so great about this boss fight, is that he cannot get out of that place. Probably the monks have sealed him in there, so... Because who wants that thing running around outside? And here I also switch out to my shurikens, because there are some lizards out here, and whenever you face off against lizards, it's always good to take them on from afar. But now we jump down and we take down another one of his little minions. And run away again, because he noticed us. And he is also one of those mini bosses where we are gonna build up his posture, and he is really nice in a sense because he allows you to do it very quickly. because he likes to use flurry attacks. And as soon as you get the rhythm down on them, you will build up his posture so quick. It's insane. But that was the last of his little minions, so we're gonna run away and de-aggro him again. And here I ran into some problems because he is facing my way. So as soon as I get in front of the door, he notices me and aggros. So I was like, crap. Okay, let's run out once again. So he loses track of us. And there is one of the lizards. Always use shurikens on these. They die in one shuriken and it doesn't allow them to spit on you because they build up poison really quick. And the same method applies to them. If you jump and stab, you will always get a death blow. So we try once again to go in. Didn't work this time either. Don't just hate it when bosses don't cooperate. When it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna watch the door. So I decide to change my strategy a little bit. I'm gonna sneak in on the side here. Move over to this doorway and try to get up on the beam without him noticing me. So, a quick rundown on his attacks before we start fighting. This is his big flurry. Just tap the parry button and you will block everything he has. And he also has a perilous sweep. Just jump over it, stomp on his head. Really basic. And as always, we start with a death blow. Take off half his life. As you do. And now we're just gonna wait and start parrying everything he has. Just find the rhythm. That will make it super easy. Tries to do the perilous, we just jump over it. And then it's rinse and repeat. And see that posture. That posture build up. I got a bit cocky there. So he's starting. Almost killed me. But how easy was that? Just learn the rhythm. And he usually does around 10 swipes at you. So just count them out in your head. Whenever you see that red kanji sign appearing, that shows that he will do the perilous attacks. Perilous attack. And those are the only 2 attacks he has when he is close to you. Because you saw that he threw those firebomb things. That is only when you're at a distance. So as long as you stay close to him, that's the only 2 attacks you're gonna have to watch out for. And of course I got poisoned. Because there was a lizard there and I didn't see him. So we used the homeward idol. And go to the last communed idol. Because I didn't have any antidotes. So we're gonna reset. Or you don't even have to reset. You just move. You just travel with the homeward idol. But now that he is dead, we can head for the temple. And now you're gonna see why I have told you at several different occasions to talk to the little old lady on the bridge. Because now we are gonna go and reap our reward for doing so. We are gonna get a scroll called the Holy Chapter Infested. From the head honcho is probably not the correct term. The leader monk of this clergy, or whatever it's called, this congregation, something like that. Just gonna wait for this guy to start walking away so we can backstab him. And if you didn't talk to the little old lady, you will not be able to get the Holy Chapter Infested now. Instead, you're gonna have to wait until a bit further on in this game when we get the Mibu breeding technique so we can breed underwater. But hopefully you have followed my walkthrough. So we're gonna pick it up. And when you get up this staircase, start running. Ignore this guy. Because there are 2 of those straw hat spear dudes right there. So just run over to this door, start opening it. they will not be able to follow you into the temple. That is off limits for these guys. So you may take one hit. As soon as you get inside the door, you're completely safe. And we just rest. And we're gonna go and talk to the leader monk, who's sitting right here.
Oh, that Johnny must be. What is?
I'm told that is.
Grandma, it's him.
I see.
It does go on for quite a long time. But we get the holy chapter infested. That was the reward for talking to the little old lady. And we can jump over here and pick up a dragon's blood droplet. Always good to have, so you don't have to spend money on them if you contract dragon rot. And here are more of those immortals. Be quick around these guys, because when they attack, it hurts. And it hurts really bad. And now, before we leave Senpu Temple for now, we're gonna run through this cave. Because these monks have their own skill tree, their own fighting techniques, and we are gonna pick up a scroll which will allow us to learn those techniques. And if you're going for the platinum in this game, you're gonna have to unlock all fighting skills, or all skills, period. Some of them are not fighting skills. And then you're gonna have to pick up the scroll so you can learn the fighting style of the high monks. And some people think that they are really good. I have never used them really, because I prefer the sword arts, and I've checked out some videos where people use a few of them, and if they suit your playstyle, go for it. But it doesn't suit my playstyle. And navigating through this old cave can be a bitch, actually. But the worst thing that can happen if you take a wrong turn is that you will just go in a circle and come out where you went in. But hopefully you will be able to see in this video which path you're supposed to take. And it is quite easy to find your way through it. It's just really dark. Since Sekiro is a shinobi, he has the ability for better night vision, but it could have been even better. And in here there is also that purple mummy. Make a mental note of his placement, because we are gonna head to him later on. He will not start attacking you, but we're gonna go there and fetch something. But that is a bit further into the game. But just make a mental note of him for now. But there we picked up the Senpu esoteric text, so we can start learning the fighting style of these monks. And before we leave Senpu Temple behind for now, we are gonna go back and talk to the big boy we talked to in the beginning, who is called Kotaro, I think. And we're gonna give him the red and white pinwheel and send him to Anayama, and that will conclude Anayama's questline. It will also expand his inventory, or his sales inventory, to its max. Except for when you take down a boss called the True Corrupted Monk, you will get, I think it's called the Dragon's Tally Board, which will expand all vendors' inventory. But this will expand Anayama's to its max. So we give him the red and white pinwheel. And he said, yeah, well, I wanted a pure white flower, but you're a good man, and this is nice. And we suggest a destination, send him to Anayama, and he's gonna go and help him loot through corpses and carry stuff and whatever it is he does. He's one of those guys where it feels like it's best the less you know, actually. But now, since we have picked up a gourd seed, we are going back to Emma and of course equip it into our gourd bottle, or healing gourd. And in the last episode, we did pick up the Mist Raven's feathers. And since we're in the neighborhood and the sculptor is sitting here just doing what it is he does, we can equip it at the same time. And then we will go to Ashina Castle to take out the third mini-boss of this episode. And this is all in preparation for the next two main bosses we will take out. But I will not be taking them on in this video. But we go to Upper Tower Antechamber. And this mini-boss coming up, I really recommend that you make sure you get a skill point before you take him on, because he can be really tricky. So I will run around here and take out all these enemies. Because the mini-boss coming up, he's a skill check. If you have to see if you have learned parrying properly before proceeding in this game. Because much like the Shinobi Hunter, we are gonna completely posture wreck that guy. And the good thing about these guys, whenever you see a kanji sign, they always do a thrusting attack. So that is a perfect time to practice your Mikiri, just like so. And with the skills we have unlocked, the ascending carp and descending carp and stuff like that, we will build up posture quite quick. But as you can see, these guys can be really aggressive and they can be finicky. They do pose a much larger threat than the normal peons running around out in the fields. But since the door is locked, we're gonna have to take this little back route to move on. And now just run. Run up this staircase. Head into the left and activate the sculptor's idol and rest. So that Ashina Elite guy doesn't follow you. Because there are two more Ashina Elites. If you go down the staircase and to the left, there are two more guys down there. And you don't want them stabbing you in the back. But I'm getting really close to the skill points, so just gonna kill a few more guys. And also, a reason we want to go down here is we want to unlock this giant door over to my right. And there we have those two guys. So we don't have to take the path over, or the secret path over the inner roof, or ceiling is probably a more correct term. And I'm starting to feel that they were... I don't want to take on 3 of those guys at once. So we just run back, we rest and reset. And we go on our merry way once again. Stealth kill this guy. And soak up all his gold. And also, if you want to go out and spend any of your money, this is a great time to do so. Because as I said, this boss can be really tricky, but he does have a tell. He has a glint on his hilt when he's about to pull his sword. And I also like to equip the Sabimaru before this fight. But the key to this fight, when you take him on, is to look for the glint. So that as soon as he's about to draw his sword, you see a little gleam, that's your cue that you're supposed to parry. And double tap your parry button. He always stabs or swings twice. He also has a perilous sweep. I didn't include it because I've never managed to block it. Or, it's a perilous sweep. All you need to do is jump over it, but I just tank it instead. But look at his posture. See how quick that builds up? And softening him up with the Sabimaru is also really great because it takes out 1/4 of his health and it also does chip damage afterwards. so his posture will not sink as fast as it would otherwise. But you saw that fight was really quick, and once you learn his timing, and it may take a while, but the sculptor's idol is just outside the room, so it's only like a 5-meter run back. But don't get frustrated, because it does take time to learn the timing on that. And if your health is getting low, try to put as much distance in between you two as you can to heal, because he is really dangerous. But now we have 4 prayer beads once again, so we're gonna increase our life bar, get our 4th prayer necklace, which shows that we have found 10 of them, I think. No? Either way. And that is the end of this episode, but I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.